Let's see how this looks. It's gonna be blurry, I think. Let's see. I didn't say the dimensions that well either. It's supposed to look weird. I mean, that kind of works.
Yeah. So I was getting text message.
No, it's okay. What do you think? I was either gonna do this or I was gonna go straight up Elektra and Daredevil.
I think Elektra and Daredevil. I think that works with the Bennifer news.
That's a good point too.
Works.
That's a good point. I forgot about that. Wow, that's a great call. Okay, so I will do that. Yeah, when we what's funny is I'm typing Elektra Daredevil and it's like it's showing like the Netflix one, which
right, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, does make
that
sense.
Would be the more SEO appropriate result.
Yep, and it's also the better interpretations too. So
yeah, well, we'll see about that.
Yeah. Okay, I have two good replacements, so it's gonna work out. I really like this one though because he looks like he's given like a thumbs up. This Captain America here, and
that's right.
It's just like it looks so weird. Have you? Okay, so there are some on this list that I haven't seen. Still draft worthy, of course, but. Did you see this one? This Captain America 1990?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either. So
nothing. I haven't seen The Punisher or Howard the Duck. So the only movie I saw pre-2000s from this list was Blade.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that whole a little bit later. There. Yes. Yeah, there we go. Now we're working here. That's good.
There we go. I didn't even need to do that.
That's a good split there.
All right, so we're good there. And did you retweet it already?
Oh yeah, we're retweeted. We're good to go.
Okay, I will do that. Give me 1 second. By the way, I'm not going to talk about it in the show because like when we get actually going. But I'm so into The Good Place now. I've really enjoyed this show. I know I'm way behind. Yeah, I really like it. It's like
dare I say it's a great place.
I think it's a fair take. I honestly do.
All right.
I appreciate your boldness.
Well.
But it's I remember seeing commercials and like, I like Kristen Bell, but like I'm not gonna watch it, whatever. And it's like,
she is delightful.
She is delightful, and I think this whole cast is pretty friggin' awesome. But, anyways, that's a story for another day.
What's the shirt? Hold up the shirt here for the screen for the folks at home.
Can you make it out? Oh, that's weird. It's the green screen.
JLA here that you got?
No, it's the Invincible cast.
The Invincible cast. Oh, I see. Oh, very cool. Look at you.
Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I guess
I thought that was the Flash there, right over your heart. That's what.
Right here?
Yeah.
No, it's Rexplode.
Oh,
so your guy Mantzoukas.
Yes. Oh, right. I think that's coming back soon, actually, isn't it?
That would make sense, but they're probably going to space it out.
I might have just made that up.
Well, I mean, I don't think we haven't gotten a time. We got the boys coming first, though.
That's right. That's the one. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, there you go. Same difference.
All right, let's get rolling here. What do you say?
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
From the teeth of the tongue. Oh, now, brown cow. All right. 3, 2, 1. Change My Mind podcast, where the hosts have worse hair than emo Peter Parker, but you'll find more laughs than Fantastic Four. I'm Wesley Sykes. To the other side of the ether is the Johnny Blaze. To my Johnny Storm, Mr. Nicholas J. Esquire, Midnight Sun for hire.
You know what? I will absolutely take that one 100%. I love that one. And honestly,
you would.
And you getting Johnny Storm, not a bad one either at all. I mean, we talk about the Fantastic Four, definitely the guy I complain about the least. And in general, not a bad character, just not been appreciated really well on the big screen, I guess.
I think every kid grew up wanting to be Johnny Storm if you read the Fantastic Four at all. Yeah, Johnny Storm was the man.
Did they have the They didn't have their own cartoon. No, they did have their own cartoon show, I think. I know they popped up in the cartoon.
I think so, sure. Yeah. And because they did crossover stuff with the Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man animated show.
And I think I saw him in the X-Men show, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah. But anyway, fresh on the heels of last week's Morbius review, we decided it would be only appropriate to rank the worst non-MCU Marvel movies here. So, I think this is something that we're all kind of familiar with. There's enough, I believe, 39 movies as a crow flies.
Yeah.
To choose from there. So we're going to be doing maybe not ranking so much, but a draft.
Yes.
Putting together the 6 worst Marvel non-MCU movies there are. That's going to be a mouthful.
It's a mouthful, but everybody gets what we're going for here. And honestly, I'm very excited. And we have a huge pool to pick from, too. Kind of blown away by this one.
Speaking of mouthfuls, Nick, when was the last time you've been to the dentist?
Okay, first of all, I feel like there's a reason you're asking me this, and I definitely brushed this morning. So I do it right before I go to bed tonight. So fuck you. 1, 2.
How would I be able to smell your breath via StreamYard?
That's an excellent point. I didn't think that through entirely. So but you know what? I'm not sorry. But the last time, probably the fall, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, I go. I think every 6 months. I go like the regular amount.
I went for the first time last week in possibly 15 years.
Really?
Yes, maybe 15 years. Yeah.
15 years, dude? And what they say?
Pretty good. I got strong teeth. I just got to get my wisdom teeth out.
Oh, that's
that's the downside. But they were impressed. They said you got strong teeth. A little bit of shifting, with the wisdom teeth and whatnot there.
Sure, it's only natural, but that's not your fault. It's, other than not going to the dentist, no control on your end on that.
The bedside manner of the dental hygienist and the dentist, very nice. Although they're taking the X-rays of my back teeth, my molars, my wisdom teeth, etc., and they're sticking these huge cameras that I got to bite down on. And I'm gagging, I'm choking on it, tears are coming down my eyes, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm making you cry. I'm making you cry." And I'm not crying. My eyes are watering because I'm choking on this thing that you're shoving down my throat. There's a difference.
Yeah, it's. I would assume that it's generally not comfortable for people to experience. I can't say I'll tell you what, you got me thinking about when I got
crying. There's a difference.
Right. There's no crying in baseball. We know this. But
you ever get hit in the nose? Like it's waterworks immediately.
Yeah,
whether you like help it or not, it's a sensitive area. Your sinuses.
I can't remember the last time I got hit in the nose, actually, but I can remember when I got my wisdom teeth pulled out, which ironically, a lot of that experience I also don't remember. I got freaking, I remember laying down in the chair, and I remember waking up in my parents' living room being like, how the hell did I get here?
You were out the whole way, huh?
Oh, yeah. But I was definitely like, I was out, but I was talking, throughout, I don't know about the surgery, but afterwards, and apparently I was very vulgar. So,
is it like one of those videos where like the daughter's talking about how she's like, wants some male accompaniment and stuff like that to her mom, and like all those funny videos when they're on the laughing gas?
Yeah, except probably a little bit meaner. It was my brother and my mom, and I don't think I was mean to her, at least from what I remember of the video, but that video is lost to like old phones and stuff like that, unfortunately.
Oh, someone did actually take a video.
Oh, yeah, my brother did. Yeah, he definitely did. And it was, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I definitely had some words for him. Yeah.
Well, when you make it on like MLB Network or you join up the Jared Carabas podcast, maybe he's just waiting for you to hit it big, and then he's going to hold that against you as blackmail.
Son of a gun, you're right. He would do something.
If not, that's a good idea, He's listening,
bastard.
Jake. Mark that down.
I would like to see that video. I just don't want everybody else to see it. I don't know what I said.
We all got to see that video, Nick. We all got to see that video.
I think it was me, though. I don't know.
Well, all right. Well, exactly.
They show my true colors, I guess. I don't know. But anyways.
Somewhere inside of you.
Yes.
Speaking of split personality disorders, Nick, somewhere deep inside of you, Moon Knight Season 1, Episode 2. I believe it's called Summon the Suit, if I'm not mistaken.
Makes sense.
What do you think?
The Mr. Knight stuff really threw me off. What they did with that suit, obviously, everybody's seen it by now. Looks great. And we'd seen a little bit of it before in posters and stuff like that, promotional things. I was like, honestly, I was looking at him, like, wait a minute, Mr. Knight was like his own personality, technically, in a way, separate from Moon Knight, separate from Stephen Grant and Jake Lockley and Mark Spector. So I was kind of like, wait, what are we doing here? But then I was like, okay, so what you're telling me now is Mark Spector is Moon Knight and Stephen Grant is Mr. Knight. Okay. It was kind of confusing before anyways with what Mr. Knight was, because there were times where I was like, is he his own personality, or is it just Moon Knight deciding I'm going to wear a different outfit? So I was like, okay, I think this is less confusing for people to process who haven't read the comics. And then it's
Right.
like,
And,
okay.
and if you're thinking like who is controlling the suit, right? If
Mhm.
it's Stephen Grant or if it's Mark Spector, that's an easy fix to be able to tell
Yeah.
who's controlling the suit, when
Yeah.
they're wearing it. Yeah,
And
I see what you're saying.
this is the one thing I'm curious about from your end. For me, I didn't mind, but like it seems like people were like annoyed or caught off guard by the humor that they tried to put in that situation when he became Mr. Knight. I thought
Oh,
it
with
made
like the
sense.
Muhammad Ali float like a butterfly. Like, yeah, cool. It seemed like he was kind of, like a fish out of water situation there, but he
Thank you.
wasn't really comfortable with it, right? I like this episode a lot more than the first one. I thought the first one was a good baseline kind of baseline
Mm.
start, nothing too crazy. I thought this one picked it up a little bit better. I'm cool with everything, although I heard that Oscar Isaac only signed on for this 6-episode season.
Really?
So I don't know. I wonder if what that means for the end of the series and moving forward. Again, Midnight Suns and all this other stuff that people are prognosticating for the future. But I wonder if it's Layla who ends up donning the suit, so to speak, and becoming the next Moon Knight. Like we've seen so much with these Disney Plus shows that you have one character kind of that establishes the name and kind of passing on the torch to the other one that we've seen with Loki, Hawkeye.
Mm.
I'm sure I'm missing another one there.
Well,
Falcon and the
yeah.
Winter Soldier to a lesser degree.
Right, but those are all like, look, I'm not saying you got to be beholden to the comics. Obviously, we were just talking about it where it's fine. But this is Layla. If I'm not mistaken, I looked it up and I cannot remember what the girlfriend's name was. What Mark Spector's girlfriend's name was, who he eventually married at one point and had a kid with. But I'm almost 95% sure it was not Layla. I just don't remember what it was. To go and it's one thing to hand it off to a character like the Loki thing. It made a lot of sense because of the variants and everything. You bring in that new Loki. There's a ton of new Lokis. So, okay. And that character was really cool. But then with Hawkeye, it's like, okay, well, that happens in the comics. If you talk about Riri Williams becoming Ironheart, like that happened in the comics. We're talking about Falcon and then Bucky, both of them, either one of them becoming Captain America. That happens in the comics. So it's like, but even then, they're all characters that existed in the MCU and then take on that role. Kamala Khan becomes Miss Marvel, happens in the comics. I think it's weird if you're going to take a character who's like created for the show and then give her that role. So I think that's weird. The 6 episodes.
Well, I'm just saying. I wonder if maybe they don't do anything else with Moon Knight. If I just wonder if they want to continue with that character. Like, who else would it be? Would it be a recasting, or do they enter this knowing the series? Okay, we got 6 episodes with Isaac. Let's plan for the future, and then have with the finale, with the soft landing of the final 2 episodes. Maybe there's a changing of the guard.
Maybe, but I really hope it's not that. And I also, but I do understand. I didn't know that 6 episode thing. So
I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I thought I heard that pretty quickly too.
Well, but you know, Wes, you find a ton of stuff, and usually when you found stuff, like usually there's some smoke to it. So at least like there's like a little bit something to it always.
Yeah.
Because you know who to like look into and who not to. Certainly better than I. But like my thing is, if they did this, there's probably a good chance they were trying to see how it worked out. Look, I like Oscar Isaac in some things. I actually watched a movie, and I'll talk about that later when we get to the Discharge Depot that he was in, and he was great. But we've seen him kind of not necessarily resonate with the audience always. Whether you're talking about Apocalypse, whether you're talking about Poe Dameron. I like Poe Dameron, but some people didn't like him. So I can see why they'd be a little apprehensive, and I can see why he might too. Like if it doesn't work out, I don't want to be stuck in this role forever. So I think there's probably just a bit of caution when they did that, as much as I don't think they needed to. I mean, clearly based on these first 2 episodes.
He's a big name actor, though.
Yeah.
He's fresh off Dune, and like I don't know, people loved him in Dune too. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Episode 3 comes out Wednesday, so we'll see what happens there. So that should be pretty exciting. I also really like Ethan Hawke. I think he's been a cool villain. Kind of a lot of intrigue behind him, playing it really, really coy.
Yeah, and this is a character when we talk about ones that haven't been. Weren't part of the comics. Again, like I don't mind if Layla becomes a prominent part of the MCU moving forward. I think if she takes on the role of Moon Knight, that feels weird to me. Ethan Hawke is taking on a villainous character, but like I said to you before, Moon Knight has some villains, but like they're not anybody where it's like, oh yeah, you gotta have this guy, you gotta have that one. We thought it was like the sun god that Hawke was playing, but it's like this is a really new character, and I feel like most people aren't going to have like a tie to it. So like I don't mind that in these two situations. And we're probably going to see Ethan Hawke again after this, so it works. But it's like having him take on a different mantle, like that sort of thing, that would seem odd either way.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely, Hero. How about we're less than 90 days now until the release of Thor: Love and Thunder. And the upcoming Marvel movie has broken the record, the MCU record, I should say, for the shortest gap between the first trailer and the release. So that is breaking 2008's Incredible Hulk. And you can see why they maybe wanted to kind of hide that one a little bit more. This, however, I think is going to be tied to maybe a little bit more rumors and spoilers, maybe some things that happen in Moon Knight, maybe some things that happen in obviously Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But any thoughts on this?
It's got to be that one. And honestly, even if they're just doing it just to mess with us, like this is, I mean, how many of us have said in our podcasting group alone, we don't need any more. It's fine. Right. Like you've given us enough, or even I don't need to see a trailer. I might want it, but I don't need it. I'm going to see it anyways. So who knows? Maybe they're trying to test some shit out because, look what happened with Strange, where we got like the Deadpool little appearance. Like so many people do these deep dives. So I like it in the sense of like, I think it's a fun exercise, but also like if they gave us a trailer, right now in the middle of the show, I wouldn't be upset.
Well, to wet our beaks, satiate the taste a little bit, we did get a Marvel toy leak. You're one of the hashtag toy boys.
Right.
Nick.
That's right.
So we got our first look at Gore the God Butcher, who is an all-white, ghostly-like, Casper-like figure. We get a cool-looking King Thor, or like Master God Thor, with a cool kind of Aquaman type helmet on. And King Valkyrie, I should say, as well. So that's a little bit of a reveal, I think.
Yeah, the big one is though with Gore, where we see what looks like the Necro Sword, and the big thing with that is, and I saw some friends of the show talking about it too, Casey being one of them.
Right, I saw this as well. I think
this could mean that we're going to start seeing some more symbiote stuff, which obviously we're going to welcome that. I think we've talked about it on the show before. Would love to see Null kind of get thrown into the mix, and this is a fairly new character in terms of Marvel history, but an awesome character. And it's going to mean a lot for Carnage, mean a lot for Venom, and it could be like definitely a character that I look at and say that could be the next big bad, and bring it all back to Earth too.
And I think I remember Casey talking about this on one of the times he was on previously, but also seen him speculating on Twitter about whether the Ebony Blade and the Necro Sword are one and the same, because it would be kind of weird to introduce two like black swords, at the same time. So maybe they work a way to kind of mend them together in some way. But
that's a good point too. That one did pop up in the course of it, and I hope. Look, could it work? So yes, but I would rather it be the Necro Sword, but it would be fitting for the Black Knight to have the wrong friggin' sword, because he's kind of a like bad luck character in a lot of ways. So I could see that happening too. It's a good call. Shit.
Yeah, and last but not least, here in the trending now, we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2 earning $71 million at the domestic box office this weekend, taking the #1 spot away from Morbius. And it's also the biggest domestic opening ever for a video game adaptation. So
awesome.
Big win for Sonic.
Okay, you're not going to see this in theaters, right?
No,
neither am I. But I will see this when it comes out wherever it is on demand for sure. I might even pay to watch it at home. I just don't feel like going out and doing it right now. Got other things going on. We do it enough, right? Yeah. But I think I gotta go back and watch the first one. Like I know it was fine. I think that I think it was Goo I talked to about it. Like he said it was fine. Didn't know who it was trying to placate to.
Sure.
But
yeah.
With this one, I just watching the trailers, and I think it's going to do well. And obviously, in terms of the box office, it shows that's the case.
Well, and we mentioned Morbius here quickly, and they had the second worst drop off from a week 1 to week 2 earnings in movie history, with a 73% drop off.
And
I think it was Dark Phoenix was the only one that had a bigger drop off from week to week.
Well, that's two movies that we'll definitely be touching on in some capacity today.
Yes.
Although, is Morbius going to make our cut for
I don't
our short
know.
list? Because we got a short list, but we'll get into that more later. First, we got to get to the comic book
Please
minute.
do.
So today this week rather, we have Flashpoint Beyond issue 0 coming out. And I am one who clamors a lot for more Thomas Wayne Batman stuff. And we have gotten that recently, but it was kind of like with a bunch of different Justice League characters from different universes, different Superman, all this stuff. And it didn't really reel me in. But now with this Flashpoint Beyond, this is all Thomas Wayne Batman, at least at the start. And read the first issue. It was solid. Definitely going to keep going forward with this. From Marvel, we got X-Men 92, House of, I guess it's XCII. I don't know Roman numerals. But that's issue 1. We're talking about with this.
Yeah, C's weird.
The current stuff that's going on with the X-Men, but putting it back in 1992. So it kind of threw me off when I was reading it. And I talked about that in my review for Geeks Worldwide. But in the end, solid story, solid art. So I think it'll be fun for people to pick up. Elektra 100. Very much enjoyed this. Definitely going to talk about Elektra today a little bit. And then another big week from Image, King Spawn 9, Nocterra 9, Nita Hawes Nightmare Blog 6, A Town Called Terror issue 1. And then from AWA, I know I don't mention them a lot on here, but Hit Me is a book that's about a little about like BDSM and stuff like that. And a woman who kind of allows men to hit her. I mean, that's what it is. It's like their thing. Very interesting first issue. Very excited for this second issue. And Joe will be doing
comic, huh?
For sure. She's the writer, Krista Faust, who Joe's talked about on the show a couple times. Very much pushes the envelope. And Joe will be talking about another AWA book this week, and I will be doing an Image book this week. So very excited for that.
Would you guess that the X-Men 92 Roman numeral is 92?
Get out.
Yeah.
Well,
I
feel like
on the nose, ladies and gentlemen. That's sleuthing at its finest.
Well done, sir. And I think it's time for us to move into our main topic today. On that note,
yes, as we mentioned off the top of the program here, we saw Morbius last week, much to the chagrin of our eyeballs, I should say.
Yep.
But we did it for the people anyway, and we thought, fresh off the heels of that, here we figured, why not conduct a draft of the best non-MCU Marvel movies, Nick?
Yep, and we got a huge-ass list. Wes put this all together, did all the legwork, and I very much appreciate that. By my count, Wes, we have 38 movies to pick from.
Yeah, and there might have been one that I missed. I think there might have been another Captain America pre-Howard the Duck.
Okay.
But I don't know. It doesn't really matter anyway. I'm not sure if those are really going to get selected there. I think the bulk of this is going to be coming from 2000 to present.
Yeah, and we will at some point, we're not sure when, but we will at some point doing the best non-MCU Marvel movies draft. But we're going to do 6 apiece today is the number that we decided on. I feel like I had a solid 14 prepared. I think because we were still ironing out the number, but there's definitely, I think there's a small gray area, but it's pretty much hit or miss when it comes down to these movies.
Well, and we have the lowest rated non-MCU Marvel movies according to Rotten Tomatoes here, Nick. I don't know if you want to run through that real quick.
Where is that?
Well, it's all the way down at the bottom. The first one, spoiler alert, is the Fantastic Four, starring Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, with a whopping 9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
And then we have Elektra at number 2 at just a little bit better, 10%, and 4.7 on IMDb.
Yes, and Morbius at 17%, so wasting no time, skyrocketing up the charts in a short time.
I don't know. I'm surprised by that, because then number 4, you have Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. So that's the second one for those unaware. Right there at 17%, actually has a lower grade on IMDb, but still right there with Morbius.
Yeah, and then you're running in a good little mix here between 6 through 9, where you have Dark Phoenix, Blade Trinity, Ghost Rider, Punisher Warzone, the sequel, and then the Jessica Alba Fantastic Four, all running in that 22 to 27% range.
When then Venom rounds it out at number 10 at 30%.
Which surprised me because I thought that was it made like $1 billion, didn't that make like a crap ton of money?
I think it did. I was a little surprised, but people were probably just so starved for Venom. I thought like Venom was just fine. I think I get that if Venom was made to like, in the if it was made like in the original Spider-Man era, it would have been like, okay, this is great. But now it's like, okay, CGI could have been done better. You've talked about the symbiote stuff where you get a little frustrated with it. The Punisher Warzone one, that's Thomas Jane as well, right?
I don't know. No, it's someone else.
That's the Dolph Lundgren one.
No.
Okay, no. I've never seen that one. So that one. Okay, that one would be on my list, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not on my short list.
Ray Stevenson was the actor. That's who I was looking for.
Oh, yep. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, definitely some of those that are on my list, but definitely I have a little bit of a different order. Do we remember who won the last draft between the two of us?
I think I did here, so I'll be happy to go second. On this, I'll give you the first pick on this.
All right, so
you go second. I'll get the wheel around here, but this is also fitting too because over the weekend we submitted our DSG top 50 comic book movies of all time rankings, which Mr. Rich Key from the #Dork podcast is so graciously putting together for us. He's doing all the math and goo, everything there. So that's going to be getting released at some point. So this is kind of fresh on the mind here of having all these movies at my fingertips to choose from.
Yes, it definitely helps. And but it's good for Rich. I'm glad he's doing some math.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Good for him. I would not want to sign up for that.
Yeah, well, anyways, I cannot wait to have the conversation about that with everybody. But it's God, that got so ugly. But anyways,
you had to send in 3 copies.
Well, you know what? I stand by what I did. Precedent was set. I think that's more important than anything, and that is a tease for what's coming when #Dork.
All I'm saying is, if you're being guided by the actions of goo, then you're probably being guided down the wrong direction.
That is an excellent point, and certainly better than the one that Mac made, which we will save for when the time comes for us to duke this whole thing out. But I have the number 1 overall pick. And this is a tough one because I think the top 3 are pretty firm. Although my number one, I got to go with Elektra in this one. I have to. Of course, it's my background for those who are watching at home. This is the Daredevil movie, but we can see Jessica Gardner's casting and
Jennifer Gardner, not Jessica Alba.
Yeah, I almost got them mixed up. Thank you.
I think you said a Jessica Gardner.
Oh, I said Jessica Gardner. There we go. Yeah. So I'm more of a Jennifer Gardner fan than I am Jessica Alba personally. But in this case, this movie's terrible. I was actually doing a little bit of research and like all the things that went wrong. And one of the big things was that this was filmed during like a lull when she was doing Alias still, like she had like a break. So they really had to rush this thing. She's such an awesome character. And for those who watch the Marvel Netflix show, you've now seen how awesome that character can be if you didn't already know from the comics. They've been doing a ton of stuff with her in the comics too, because Chip Zdarsky did a great job with her in Daredevil and everything. So I love what we're seeing from the character now, but back then, man, they did her dirty. So this is definitely, like, we're talking about movies that we don't want to see. This is number 1 for me on this list.
All right, that's good. That's a good, strong pick there. Very forgettable. So much so that you forget that it was even there, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good way to put it. I think there are a few of those that fall under this list, and I'm curious if you're going to take either one of them at 2 or 3.
Well, okay, so this one, this is a kind of a pander pick because you know how I feel about this movie. So I'm going to take it off the board right off the bat, but because I know the people hate it. I love this movie. Give me Spider-Man 3, 2007.
Wow.
Emo Peter Parker. You got James Franco, who's #canceled. You got the 3-hour wedding scene, the dance numbers. You got Eddie Brock. #MyVenom. The cherry pie in the coffee shop is so good. Great, just great stuff all the way around.
I can't believe you are taking this. Like, not that I think it's a bad pick. You love this movie. Like,
I do love this movie. And as a little peek behind the curtain, this might be ranked number 26 in my top 50 movies.
Wow.
In fact, I have the third installment of trilogies like in my top 3 in my top 25.
Okay, well that's okay. I haven't seen your list yet. You've seen mine. And
Yes.
wow. What the fuck? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? You have
Yeah.
this number 6 on your list?
Not number 6. Oh, for the top 50?
Yeah.
No. It's number 26.
26. I'm sorry. Okay. Still 26 is
Top
insane.
26.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh wow. Okay. Well, just when I thought I messed, my mess up. I'll tell you after the show.
I enjoy the movie. It's a good time.
You do. You do. It makes this pick even more odd. Like I wasn't picking put it on my radar because I feel like that you're
It's a
not
pander
alone.
pick. I think people are going to see this and be like, "I agree, it's a bad movie." So I'm incepting the audience here a little bit.
All right. I mean, that's okay. All right. Well, you got the wraparound pick, so
The wraparound pick is another trilogy that I'm going to go here. I actually don't like this movie, but it's X-Men: The Last Stand, 2006. Brett Ratner, failed Dark Phoenix saga. You also get a poorly used. Why am I saying Wade Wilson in here too? I believe.
Wade Wilson was not this one.
I think there was some form of a Deadpool in here.
The only Deadpool that I know of in all the X-Men stuff outside of Deadpool was X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of Blade Trinity there. I'm thinking
they
of,
do have Ryan
the
Reynolds,
swordsman Ryan Reynolds.
And
there.
oh my god, who is he in that movie? Oh, I know what is his freaking name? That's gonna really annoy me. You're gonna have to look that up. But that is an actual character in the comics. He is a vampire hunter. But yeah, no, Wade Wilson is not in that one. But Ryan Reynolds is in 2. He's taken on 2 Marvel roles so far.
Yeah, you also get the failed Stryker storyline in this. That's not really an interesting storyline so much here with the kind of Weapon X here with
Hannibal
Wolverine's
King.
Orange. Oh,
Hannibal King. Yes. Yep. That's what it was. Sorry. But you're taking Last Stand, not Origins.
No, The Last Stand.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. I'm getting confused with your Stryker stuff because Stryker was in number 2 and then he was in Origins.
Stryker was also in number 3, though.
No, that was the stuff with Worthington and his father and the medicine. Like remember when Magneto got turned into a human by Beast and everything? Stryker died in the second one. In that
maybe I am confusing that too. Okay.
Last Stand's a great pick. Like
I'm sticking with Last Stand.
Yes,
I'm sticking with Last Stand.
Yes, they messed up a lot of stuff there. So it's a great pick. I think you could have waited on it, but I don't blame you at all for it.
Well, I think at this point with a 2-man draft, we're just taking what we want.
That's an excellent point, but I mean, I'm trying to be smart, but either way. So for me, I'm getting the number 2 movie on my list. As much as your 2 get a lot more recognition, I think when you look at my 2, people who like Marvel stuff are going to be like, oh, these are fucking awful. Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, which came out in 2011. I remember seeing this in college. I remember the theater I went to. It was the theater we went to in Evanston, but and I just remember watching this thinking, what are they doing? Like, why does Nick Cage say yes to these things? Like, why? Like, I understand the directors and people are in charge and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you? I thought Ghost Rider was bad. This is just like completely out of its mind, which is appropriate for Nick Cage. But God, is this movie fucking bad?
Yeah, we did the first Ghost Rider on the bad rewatch fault, the unwatchable, unrewatchable.
I think it's the only one we've done so far.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's the only one that we've done. But I actually didn't think the first one was not that bad.
I look back on our grades. Do you remember what you gave it?
No, I forget.
You gave it a 40, and I gave it a 40. I'm pretty sure we were like,
yeah. Yeah. There was some redeemable parts. There was no reason for me to ever want to see the Spirit of Vengeance.
Yes, it was. Yes, like I remember thinking. I remember this. The first one was definitely better than the second one, and the second one is. I mean, the first one wasn't great itself, and so I feel great about my first 2 picks. This is where it gets tough. I thought you were going to have one of these 2 taken already for my 3 and 4, and you haven't taken either one. I mentioned that I haven't seen. There are certain ones on this list that I haven't seen, and I'm gonna try and stick to ones that I have seen. One of the movies, the newer movies, I guess, that have come out since this podcast started that we ripped. I think the first one that we really, really ripped, one of our most listened to episodes too, is Dark Phoenix, and came out in 2019. God, this was so bad, the delays and everything like that. And it's above the biggest thing is you already tried it before and then you did it again. And I understand you had different people involved, but you still completely mucked it up. And I just like, I don't know how it gets much worse than that. Like,
yeah, and help me out with the timeline here too, because I think it was X-Men Apocalypse and then Dark Phoenix.
Yes, that is correct.
Right. So like X-Men Apocalypse was already a big disappointment. That could be on this list potentially as well.
Yep.
But you talk about, again, personally, I was just so excited to see Apocalypse on the big screen and the potential that they could use them in. I'm like, all right, that one didn't work out. Let's go see what they got with the Dark Phoenix. Maybe they'll kind of clean things up here and salvage some things. Because again, there are some cool aspects that they're dealing with here that just completely fall apart, whether that's because of Captain Marvel reshoots, all that other stuff that's going. Couldn't use the Skrulls, right? That's kind of what Jessica Chastain's character was kind of like. And
that's right. Jessica Chastain was in this. That's right. I forgot about.
I mean, there's a lot of great actors in here. Like,
oh yeah,
there's some cool stuff to it. Yeah, Fassbender and Sophie Turner. A lot of good stuff. But
yeah, and I mean, I like Nightcrawler in this stuff too, but I also don't like Cyclops in this stuff too. So yeah, but it's all around just brutal. And I know each of these movies is graded on like just how the movie did in itself within its own thing. But it's like when you look at it from like, I guess, a macro perspective, it's like, dude, you did this twice in like what, a 10-year span or something like that. When yours came out in 2006, mine is in 2019, 13 years ago, and you have better technology and you still completely got it wrong. What is the matter with you?
Yeah, that's very tough. Yeah, again, when X-Men the animated series is really the best rendition, live, on-screen rendition of the Dark Phoenix saga, and that happened 20 years ago.
Almost 30 now, Wes.
Almost 30, yeah, see? As a crow flies.
Yeah, it's brutal. So yeah, I'll take that at my number 3.
All right, here. It's back to me. I am going to go with The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I think it's a good pick.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 as my third overall pick.
Yep.
Here you get really ugly comb over Jamie Foxx here. You get some emotional, you loss of Gwen Stacy, but you get the Russian Rhino mafia boss. It doesn't hold up. Nothing ever really holds up here. And again, we're this is not in spite of Andrew Garfield's performance, who I think is great. You get a little bit of a Ghost Dad situation, who we know Mac and Goo love so much, with the return of Dennis Leary. But again, a lot of this stuff doesn't really work in this movie. But what I will say is I did buy No Way Home on Prime. You did? Yes, I rewatched it, so it holds up.
Nice.
A lot of continuity issues. A lot of the CGI green screen stuff is very blatant. But it kind of looks like you in some scenes,
That's interesting. Okay, I see. I went back and watched it in theaters with my dad. And that stuff kind of, I guess, didn't jump out to me, but I love it. Yeah, that to me, that's one of the best things that Marvel's done outside of Endgame and Infinity War. Which
when I think about the scene between the 3 Spider-Men talking, it's like none of them are in the same scene together. It's all close-ups to one person looking over to the other person, looking over. And they may be together, in some scenes, but like the way that it's cut, it makes it look like they're just talking to someone else off camera who's reading the other person's lines.
I will say, in my defense, for the second time not seeing it, I think I told you this, but the second time I went and saw it, I had to yell at some kids that were talking in the theater.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
yeah, that was. Yeah, that was an experience. That's when
I with them. Yeah,
I honestly was thinking about it more afterwards. Like, man, I am starting to get fucking old. They were talking as loud as I am right now.
Well, maybe you were just hopped up on the laughing gas again. Who knows?
I didn't swear, but my dad, I will say, I just yelled, "Shut up!" At least I'm not as old as my dad, who lectured them for a second and was like, "You could go talk out there. If you want to go, you don't have to stop talking. Just get out." It was like, okay. Like,
Well, I mean, he presents a good argument, Mr.
he did.
Nicholas X Fryer.
Yeah.
He's the real X Fryer.
Yes, he is. That's very true. Okay, so you have what is it now?
I got one more pick here.
Okay.
I got
Oh
one more
shit,
pick.
that was fast.
And again, well, no. I got a couple more picks, but it's still to me here. It's coming back around to the wheel, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You still got your pick. Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you have, and then you have the last one overall. Because my man. Oh no,
Gotcha.
because we got 6. Yeah, I think we have 5. Sorry.
Give me Fantastic Four 2015, Miles Teller, directed by Josh Trank, Michael B. Jordan. Couple run of recent movies
Yeah.
here.
This is a good one. Like this was actually number 3 on my big board originally. But this is one I never saw. I knew it was going to be bad. I didn't need to see it, but I think this is one that could have gone. Like I thought you were going to take this with one of your first 2 picks.
See, I really, I might be in the minority here. I like Miles Teller. Obviously, I'm in the majority with Michael B. Jordan. I thought that was going to be great. I kind of liked this younger aspect that they were going with the origin story. I liked the first 10 or 15 minutes as the little kid at the science fair. I enjoyed that beginning. And then everything just kind of devolved from there. Horrible rendition of Doctor Doom. The Ben Grimm stuff's really bad. You know, I wasn't a big fan of the Baxter professor who was kind of like tutoring all of them, who was Michael B. Jordan's father. Didn't really work for me there. So again, I loved Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller. They were in some movie together where they were like bros in New York living a bachelor lifestyle. That
wasn't Efron in that too?
Who's that?
Was Zac Efron in that too?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever, you know, I liked that. I thought they had kind of like a cool thing going back and forth. Didn't really play out so much in here. Very disappointed. Again, I love the Fantastic Four. I wanted this to be good. Didn't hit for me.
So you see, I don't like the Fantastic Four. Johnny Storm is exempt from that, and honestly, Ben Grimm is too. And I'm pretty like whatever about the Invisible Woman. I just can't stand Mr. Fantastic. So Miles Teller in that role really makes it brutal. But anyways, yeah. So I think it's a great pick. I'm actually going to go with Fantastic Four here as well, because talking about building a cinema that you don't want to go visit, I think Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer is right there in that conversation too. I understand I maybe could have waited on this one a little bit, but God, this was bad too. And I can't remember actually who was Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four movie, but that's another one that was just like this. Like people wanted to see Silver Surfer, so of course this is Chris Evans, Alba. How do you say Reed Richard? Is it Ewan
I couldn't guess. Yeah, I couldn't guess his name. But again, like when you talk about the Fantastic Four, it's Doctor Doom and Silver Surfer and it's Galactus, right? There's like a couple of handful of villains that you think of there, and like I couldn't wait for the Silver Surfer. Thought he was so cool in the comic books and like the TV shows and everything. Very disappointing once we got on the big screen.
Yeah, I mean, this is this is a major character. Now, again, Silver Surfer, not necessarily one I'm like crazy in love with, but another character. It's like one I know is important in all this, and it's just like, yeah, kind of sucked again. Like, and I feel like I feel like a lot of mine kind of fly under the radar because they're just so fucking bad. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll see when it comes to the voting, but yeah, Rise of the Silver Surfer came out in 2007. Just before Iron Man. Like putting that into that perspective, it's just like,
right.
It could have been done right. You could have done okay with this, but you didn't.
Yeah. Okay. So I think now it's coming back to me. No. No.
Oh no. I'm so sorry.
We go two at a time.
You're right.
I'm lost in the snake left and right.
Yeah. I'm sorry. My math was off there. I apologize. Okay. So, all right. I am. Okay,
we're getting to some good options here too.
Yeah, so. We got some good ones here still left. Oh yeah, we definitely have some good ones left on the board still too. And I think I got to go with one that is going to be one that I have said like I kind of have a soft spot for it, but at the same time, upon rewatch fairly recently, it's definitely soured for me. That's X-Men Origins Wolverine. Of course, came out in 2009. And God, was this like looking back on it now? They changed so much shit that they didn't need to friggin' change. And it's like, you have this awesome character, you have an awesome backstory. why are you fucking all this stuff up? It's amazing how we look back on Hugh Jackman's casting. And it's like we love him. We love him as Wolverine. Like, and yes, he was really cool, and he did an awesome job. But so much around him was not done well, and it's mind blowing that that's the case. I guess it's a testament to him as an actor. But this is one where they just changed so many different things, and there was some other stuff with the writing and the plot and stuff that was just like, oh, this is not great.
Again, between this movie and the other one, I know one it takes place in like Japan or China or something,
Yep.
and the other
That's
one
the
is,
Wolverine. Yep.
yeah, and that one's supposed to be better, but I confuse the two of those together so much, so it's
yeah. I don't.
It's not good for the Mandela effect. I'll tell you.
No, and I think the Wolverine is one that could fall into that gray area on us, where it's like it's fine. Like I don't know if I'd say it's good, but it's like it's not bad. I don't know if it'll get taken in either of our drafts. We'll see at the end of it all. I guess we'll have to account for that. But for me, like this one, I mean, of course, how they mess up with Deadpool and everything too, absolutely friggin' ridiculous. I mean, they totally screwed that character over.
Yeah, and now we're getting to the point of movies that I either, again, have a tough time recalling how much I hate, and if it's like there's three that I can choose from, but it's all very new. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm wondering here, like, how do I kind of want to play this?
It's tough.
And I think I'm just going to go a shot and play recency bias here right out the gates. Give me New Mutants and Venom 2 to close out the draft.
Okay.
Right. New Mutants, much like what you had described with Dark Phoenix, was a movie that we didn't really need. It got pushed off. We didn't really care about. I think we were one of the few people who actually reviewed it when it came out.
Yes, we are.
We just talked about that fairly recently.
Mm-hmm.
But but a very forgettable movie. Maisie Williams didn't really do it for me. Anya Taylor-Joy, it looks like they're all just taking the paycheck. And this, again, comes out at the point where we know that X-Men and the Fox Marvel category or catalog is being absorbed by the Disney Marvel MCU. So anything that was coming out at this point was inconsequential. So automatically ruined it there. So jot down New Mutants.
Yeah,
but
that's see, I feel like we gave that like a C-ish grade. And I understand time not being friendly to things. And I mean, Cannonball, that character, not one that I'm expecting anybody to go and like love, but a character that's like low key, like super powerful. He's an external, which is another thing. But like this dude's invincible. And you go and basically the only time we see his powers get shown off is when he's like tethered down. Like that's it. Like you could have done a lot more with that guy. And Magic's another really cool character too.
Right.
So,
yeah,
they definitely screwed some shit up there. And then what was the other one you took?
Venom 2. And again, I'm very excited for Carnage here and what was supposed to be. And again, I'm kind of hoping for a little bit of a rebound where Venom wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. It was one of that kind of middle of the road type movies. So you're hoping for maybe getting that rebound there. And much like what we saw with Morbius, it lynched itself to Spider-Man. It tried to kind of attach itself into that universe, although it didn't really, and everything just kind of felt forced and rushed. And despite the big name actor kind of carrying the lead performance, it doesn't really carry it enough.
Okay, this is tough here for me. So when we're looking at the Rotten Tomato scores, the ones that are still left on the board are Blade Trinity, Punisher Warzone, Morbius. The original Fantastic Four with Evans and Alba, and then Venom, which I'm surprised at some of that. For my big board, there's still Ghost Rider, but I don't want to have two Ghost Riders as much as it's supposed to be bad, right? I don't like.
You want diversity,
a little bit, yeah. And I already have two X-Men movies, so again, doubling up too much. But if I go and bring in the Hulk, which I have at number 8 on my board, which is my highest one left, I feel like that's going to confuse people. Daredevil makes a lot of sense too.
But
also Elektra. But then that's more synergy than doubling up necessarily. So
right,
but
and it would go with the background, even more than
it would. And I really, really hate what they like how they did the character dirty in that one. And obviously Bullseye.
And you could pass as Bullseye. It was a Colin Farrell Bullseye.
Oh, thank you. And
you need the hair a little bit longer.
Yeah,
maybe like a Cobblepot You know,
Yeah,
Colin Farrell
I'm
too.
more closer to that, I would say. Yeah.
Who's it? Hogwarts Hogglepot?
Yeah,
Cobblepot?
yeah, sure. That's what it is. Hogwarts Hufflepot. Yeah, that's it. Hufflepot.
Hogwarts Cobblepot.
I am a Hufflepuff. But anyways, and then of course Blade Trinity is on my short list too with X-Men Apocalypse. Man, Morbius is right there too. Fuck. But I don't think Morbius is worse than most of those movies there.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Man, this is a tough one, Wes. I thought you were gonna make I thought you were gonna make it this one like kind of the process of elimination here for me. Um,
Did
I
not.
I am gonna have to go with. I'm gonna have to go with Blade Trinity here. I
Okay.
actually had it lower on my board than most of these other ones, but to me, it's just like you think of Blade, and it's like, yeah, Blade was like I talk about how the original Blade was game changing for us. It was big in terms of like stepping stones and whatnot. And Blade 2, and I get that they're from a different time. Some of the CGI stuff doesn't hold up, but it's important, and I'm always going to respect those two movies. Blade Trinity, I like Ryan Reynolds and everything, but obviously he's had some misses over the years, and this one was absolutely one of them. So,
Jessica Biel was in this movie too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yep. So that is the one thing that I might have going against me. I have Jennifer Gardner and Jessica Biel and Jessica Alba in my movies. There may be some people who want to see my movies because of that, so I might lose to you on that. Well,
Yeah. Well, yeah. I do have Spider-Man 3 on there though. So
who's
popular.
I don't even remember who the. Oh, okay, okay, gotcha. Right, just how
Popular movie.
popularity. Well, but okay, yep. Yeah, I keep forgetting like we have to have like ass backwards thought processes on this. But left on my draft board were Ghost Rider, the original Ghost Rider, the original Hulk with Banner and Jennifer Connelly, Daredevil from 2003, Morbius, of course, of this year, X-Men Apocalypse, and then of course, and neither of us took Captain America from 1990, or Howard the Duck, or the Dolph Lundgren Punisher, but like I haven't seen any of those. So
yeah, exactly. That would be we would be misrepresenting ourselves if that was the case here.
Yeah.
So some of these movies, and I enjoy. I kind of like Apocalypse in some ways. That was a near miss from there, but
awesome Magneto stuff. I enjoyed the
yeah.
Psylocke stuff in that too. I haven't rewatched in a long time, but talking about Oscar Isaac, like, didn't do him. It kind of did him a disservice and everything too. But
yeah, well, you can't get a short guy to play someone who can like get huge and big and everything like that. He needs to be a godlike figure. You need to get like Dolph Lundgren.
Apocalypse is a friggin' monster. But do you want to rattle off your list?
No, I think we got them all there. Our list. Yeah. Not the ones that I didn't miss, but yeah, the list of my worst non-MCU Marvel movies. My first overall pick was Spider-Man 3, followed by X-Men: The Last Stand, followed by The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan's Fantastic Four, New Mutants, and then Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage.
And then for my list, I have Elektra, Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, Dark Phoenix, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, X-Men Origins Wolverine, and Blade Trinity. God, this is bad.
All right, and we'll put the poll out there on our Twitter at Change by Mind Pod, maybe on the Wednesday time.
I'm very excited to see the people weigh in on this one. I think this is. I think people are gonna. I'm curious if people think we should have taken different movies than the ones we went with. Like if one got left off,
they'll let us know. They'll let us know. Like I said, you can't watch everything here. We got the whole list, but you only want to be true to yourself.
Well, I more mean in terms of matters of opinion than anything else.
Yeah,
I'm just because like I wouldn't put Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage on my list, or New Mutants. Like those are not ones I would have taken. But like. Other people could say, Morbius should be among this group too, which was close.
So poo-poo on you, Nick.
Well, either way, that is it for our draft. We will figure out when we're going to do the best non-MCU Marvel movies draft, but that is a conversation for another day.
Yes.
Now we are turning into the Discharge Depot.
All aboard! Rat.
So how did your chainsawing go?
Oh, it felt great. I bought a battery-powered 16-inch DeWalt chainsaw. Worked great. I need 2 batteries. That's really go through. So now I have a backyard full of chop down trees and limbs and brush that I have to chop into smaller pieces, and I can stack those. Maybe
This
I'll
sounds
chop.
like
Maybe I'll chop some wood.
I wish I could have helped you out. I'm so sorry, man. Like,
Yeah, I know. I put out into the chat that if anyone wanted to have a chainsaw party this weekend, and to my surprise, filled with a bunch of betas in that group, no one really offered their services. So there is nothing. I chopped down a huge pine tree in the backyard, and you hear that crack, and then it like falls down, and it knocks down all the branches around you and everything. You hear it. It is a rush. You are defeating nature. You are knocking down giants. I highly suggest it.
So I'm curious though, what do you get more excitement out of? Sending a note to the chat where everybody's going to be like no, and then you just get crickets, assuming everybody's like, oh god, like I feel bad, not like they don't know how to handle it, or do you get more excitement out of taking down a tree like that?
Oh, taking down a tree 1,000 times out of 10. Yeah, that was. I need a new pair of pants.
Oh, okay. I just know you thrive on making people uncomfortable. So, okay.
Yeah, well, that was a genuine invitation that no one took me up on.
Oh,
who wouldn't want the opportunity to cut down trees? That's fun.
You're right. I can't believe I missed out on this. Maybe you went into the wrong career. Like you're too busy, dealing with paper on the end. You're on the wrong end of the paper cycle.
I'm on the wrong end of the paper business. You are absolutely correct.
Unbelievable.
I missed my calling in life. I was so close, though. Close.
Well, hey, it's not too late, man. I feel like, if you wanted to go be a lumberjack now, you probably could.
I've already conquered it. I think I'm moving on to woodworking next.
Yeah, jeez, and you didn't draft X-Men Origins Wolverine after all the lumberjacking when he goes.
Well, I wanted to. I hold it in high regard. I study that.
Fair. All right, that's fair. Okay, I think it's a missed opportunity, but I understand your logic at least. But anyways, as for me, while Wes was playing around with paper, I was busy watching Ex Machina for the first time ever. And I'll tell you what, Wes, I did not like any of the three main characters in this movie. Great movie. Hated everybody in this movie, though.
Okay.
Have you seen this?
No. Is this Charlize Theron?
Nope, it's Oscar Isaac and what is this actress' name? I'm gonna pull it up real quick. But it's General Hux, whose name is Domhnall Gleeson, Oscar Isaac, and Alicia Vikander.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, Alicia Vikander. But all awesome performances, but all annoying ass characters. I'm sure some people will be like, Domhnall Gleeson's character, General Hux, he's a sad character. No, he's like this genius who then makes this ridiculously dumb mistake in the course of the whole movie. And it's just like, what the fuck's the matter with you? Like, you're not smart. Don't tell me these that's where I get annoyed with tech people. Like, you go and say, robots are going to take over the world, and it's inevitable. No, you could just all fucking cut the shit and we'd be fine. I
hear you. Yeah. Or they could just cut down trees.
Or they go join Wes in your lumberjacking. Those are the people you should be reaching out to. Like better time spent.
Help me make real life adult Lincoln logs.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do.
Yeah, yeah. You could
cut out little notches and then
You're at that level now. Hey, you got to be going to the Westport Fair then this summer. Then you're gonna
be. I could do it quick. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll hop up there real quick and just slice them off.
Could you make me a rabbit with one of your logs? Like, are you that detailed yet?
Well, it depends. Between juggling and crafting, I got my hands kind of full right now.
God, I can't. That is no way. Like, I get it. These people who do it are trained professionals, but that is just the most batshit stuff ever. Juggling.
They're carnies, Nick. They're not trained anything. They're not professionals.
Fine, whatever you want to call it. Speaking of carnies, it is time for
This Week in Shared Universe.
So I know #Dork is doing a dink or a micro dork, whatever it is, on Severance with Billy D. Or they already did it.
They already did, yeah. They were supposed to be potting tonight, but I think they canceled. They're doing it tomorrow.
Yep, they pushed it to Tuesday, so you can listen to that. Then Mac and Goo, are they actually doing the top bullies in TV history?
Yeah, they are. They're doing that. Yeah.
Well, that if they don't have Billy D on that show, then I don't know what they're not even doing it right.
I know. I think it's in honor of Billy D, to be honest with you.
Bully D, I think, is the real nickname.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
The People for Communism podcast kind of deviating from what they normally do and doing the top 11 Foo Fighters songs. I believe you can already listen to that one now. And then TLDR mentioned earlier, Joe's talking an AWA book this week, one he's talked about quite a bit in What's New. I'm going to be talking an image book. There's a fourth graphic novel in this series is hitting shelves this week from Ed Brubaker. We'll leave it at that. Talk about Sean Phillips, excuse me. We'll talk about that this week. I've heard it both ways. Season 4, episode 9 of Psych sounds right, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And then, of course, for the streamers, Doc, you can find them at Backcracker on Twitch. I mean, I don't know when the last time Shime Twitch. Same could be said for Davey. I think Keith is our number 2 Twitcher at this point. But Shime is at Shime Time on Twitch. And then Keith and Davey do it on their YouTube page. Make sure you guys keep your peepers pop for the #dork Mario Kart races because they did another one this past week. So I think they're going to try.
I might have to get myself a Nintendo Switch and hop in there.
It's fun. I don't think I'm going to do that because I'm going to get the PS5 for a Batman game coming out. But they're like
$600-700, aren't they?
At some point they're going to go down. Anyways, the point is though, I like watching it. Like I enjoy listening in on those things. So I would love if you got it because I would definitely watch that shit.
I'm trying to debate whether I should get a Nintendo Switch for the downstairs bar area, the hangout area, or buy a Street Fighter X-Men arcade 1-up console. That would have like all the Street Fighter games and all like the Marvel Capcom games on there.
Dude, you're not gonna get any help from me because I can't decide between that. You kidding me? You're gonna flip the fucking coin.
Yeah, because the Switch is cheaper. But I could buy more games over time.
Yep. True. But eventually the Switch will become obsolete. This game, your arcade thing, technically is already obsolete. But at the same time, like it's also always going to be as awesome. Yeah, exactly. So, man, I don't know the price difference, but I think from like a
$150-200
price difference.
Yeah. From what I saw the 1-up for like $400-500.
Man, I think it's going to come down to which one you can see you playing more. I know you're like you don't need me to lecture. Like this is tough.
Play games though. That's the thing. I don't know. It would just be a novelty thing to have, and I think it would like look cool on a certain.
I'm telling you right now, when you the first time I come over, like if we played Switch, if we had Switch, I'd be like, we don't need to play it. Like, but if you had the Xbox, the Capcom Marvel all that stuff, I would want to play that like the whole fucking time. Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah, so that I guess that's what gets my vote.
Okay, well, we'll see. I'll jot that down there.
Yeah, well, Julia's not going to get a vote in this, right?
No. She doesn't even know this is happening unless she's listening right now. This would be news to her.
Okay, well, it's time for
veto both of those.
So maybe we should end the show now. While we're ahead,
the basement's my area. She's got the kitchen that she designed and put everything in the whole upstairs area. And
so you're putting your foot down now too. Okay, smart to do it now.
Yeah.
Let the people
the basement
know.
In the backyard. Those are my areas that I get to do.
Okay. Say it publicly so that way you'll be safe, at least for now.
Yeah, exactly.
But are we TBD for next week?
I think so. We're TBD. Nothing's popping out at the moment here.
Yeah, we got some stuff. We definitely got some stuff coming soon. Obviously, Doctor Strange isn't for a little bit, but anyways, so
maybe build the cinema. We haven't done that in a while. We could always do MCU rewatch. I think that's coming up with Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be an interesting one because that's the first one that we reviewed, and that we can look back at the grading.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be. Oh, I know my grade was way too high for that.
I say we do Captain Marvel. We'll make some headway on the MCU list here.
Okay. All right. Sounds good to me. So until next week then.
But always same bat time, same bat place.